Let's go to business news now with Madison Reedy. Hi, Madison.
Hello.
So, another takeover offer in the wind. Who are we talking about this time?
Yeah, we need a bit of a takeover bell upstairs, don't we? Because we've had so many of these takeover offers at the moment. So this time it is MetLife Care, which is one of the country's biggest retirement village operators and developers. It currently has 25 villages around the country, most of which are around Auckland and particularly in the North Island. Now, across all of those villages, they have 4,000 beds, and they actually have another 10 projects of new retirement villages in the pipeline too. Now, we don't know who's keen to buy MetLife, but MetLife does say that it's in talks with the so-called prospective bidder. Now, that's even though this prospective bidder is offering a price for MetLife below what the board wants and values its company at. But we should say, though, that this is sort of a non-takeover offer. MetLife hasn't explicitly called it a takeover offer. They've called it a non-binding and a highly conditional offer. But whatever it is and whoever it is, they're going to have extremely deep pockets because MetLife is currently valued on the share market at over $1 billion. So it's likely to be a private equity firm or possibly an international investment firm that's keen to buy MetLife, or it could even be a big offshore retirement village operator that wants to move into the New Zealand market and buy MetLife as a sort of bolt-on acquisition to start some operations here. We should also note that any sort of takeover offer or not so-called takeover offer will require shareholder approval. Now, MetLife is actually interestingly owned with a 20% stake by the New Zealand Super Fund. Also, the Accident Compensation Corporation, being ACC, owns a large stake, as does ANZ's investment arm. Now, like clockwork, any sort of takeover offer on the market typically sends a share price soaring. We obviously saw that today with MetLife. Their share price closed up 12.8% at $5.73 tonight.
Okay, let's talk about Tower Insurance. They have announced a profit, finally.
This is its first profit in 4 years. So Tower Insurance made a net profit of $16.6 million in the year to September. Now, that's a turnaround from their annual loss last year of $6.7 million. Now, their revenue rose 7% to over $358 million. That's because it earned more in premiums, which is what it charges its customers. Now, they say that that's a mix of bringing on board new customers as well as hiking the price of its current existing policies. Now, that's a result of it moving to risk-based pricing about 18 months ago, which is the direction that pretty much all insurers are going in now. It also had its cost of claims reduce as well, and that's because it didn't receive as many claims because there weren't as many adverse weather events, so not as many earthquakes and not as many storms, which usually cause property damage, which Tower then has to pay out on. But Tower is very much a company that has been on the road to now finally recovery, and it's been dogged specifically by the impact of the Canterbury earthquakes, and it actually does, interestingly, continue to be dragged down by this. While it slowly reduced the number of claims to fix and rebuild property as a result of the damage from the Christchurch quakes, Tower still does have 95 claims for Canterbury-related repairs on its books. Now, it's actually had to put an extra $6 million aside to pay for any new claims that it might still get from the Earthquake Commission. And Tower, interestingly, is actually in a stout with the EQC at the moment. It's owed over $50 million from the Earthquake Commission, and the EQC itself is actually disputing that payment. And speaking with Tower today, they told me that they're likely to take legal action, that likelihood is actually now extremely high because the dispute process is not going in the direction that they'd like it to, and they said that they will chase the money that they're owed from the Commission, quote, until the nth degree.
So, what else has been happening on the markets today?
The NZX Top 50 Index, that closed up 0.8% tonight. That's a rise of 83 points to close at 10,975. The New Zealand dollar, that's buying at 64.2 US cents, 94.2 to the Aussie and 49.7 British pence.
Thanks, Madison. Madison Reedy with our business news.